What is going on, people? This is your boy Thano. You're watching Thano at Self-Help. Regular people helping each other help themselves. And today we are doing this is basically an update on the KENNEKA Jenkins case. If you're not familiar with this case, long story short, it's a young woman. You see the picture of her here. Young girl. She's 19 years old. Her body was found in a freezer in a hotel. The hotel is by O'Hare Airport. Now I can't think of the name of the hotel. I think it's Rosemont. I can't even remember the name of the hotel right now. I think it's Rosemont. I might be wrong. Don't quote me on the name of the hotel. I can't think of it right now. But it's a difficult case for me. This is probably one of the first. I mean, typically I don't talk about stuff like this. Typically I'm talking about like things on a broader scale, like relationships and more from an analytical observation perspective or psychological perspective or that sort of thing. I talk about stuff like that, but this is something that just kind of hit home for me. I don't know if it's because I have a daughter. I can tell you that I just feel really bad about what happened with this girl, and I want to see the right thing happen, as far as justice being served. Now, there's definitely negligence on behalf of the hotel in this case. You can look through my videos and see the previous videos that I've posted about this young lady, and you can kind of see what everybody's talking about, where you hear people talking about her being inebriated, possibly, but I think it's a possibility that she was inebriated or she was drunk, or maybe somebody's drugged her. Maybe she was already drugged, when she was stumbling through the halls like that. I don't know. We don't really know. I did see a video talking about toxicology, saying that she was on medication for epilepsy, something of that nature. But I don't know how reliable of a source that is, so I didn't really post anything on that because I don't know how reliable that is. Apparently, this guy was saying that Sandra Bland was on the same medication. So I don't know. If you don't know about the Sandra Bland case, you should look that up. Sandra Bland was basically a woman that had no reason to commit suicide, but apparently she killed herself and hung herself in a jail cell. Everybody know that this was a racially charged thing, and it's complete bullshit. But they're saying that she had this drug in her system as well, And I'm not going to quote or tell you which channel I got that information from, because of the fact that this guy's doing a lot of conspiracy stuff, and I don't like to play with that when we're talking about real life, people losing their loved ones. I don't like to play with conspiracy when it comes to stuff like that. I just feel like it's disrespectful, But there's new evidence, right? So there's new information regarding this case with Mrs. KENNEKA Jenkins. So this new information is photographs. All right, so there's images of Mrs. KENNEKA Jenkins in the state that she was found in by the law enforcement. They said that these photos will be, I guess, released on today, and these photos are supposed to be, I guess, some of these photos are graphic in nature or compromising in a way that some of that Mrs. KENNEKA's her body is exposed. Now, I'm hoping that when they release these photos, they don't release anything that's graphic that would be compromising to the integrity of Mrs. KENNEKA Jenkins. I'm hoping that they won't release anything like that. Obviously, I would, on a crime scene or something of that nature like that, where you find a body that's There's a lot of videos taken, so I'm hoping that they will not video, or well, videos and pictures. I'm hoping that they would choose to share pictures that are not, just degrading or anything that's just too much. You know what I mean? Out of respect for Mrs. KENNEKA, I think that those type of sensitive photographs is something that should be exclusive for the attorneys and the family, as they see fit. So yeah, this is what's going on right now. So that they're supposed to be releasing these photographs. It's supposed to happen today. So if I happen to run across it, I'll post it, and it'll be very much like what you see on the video. I'll just have it on a page on my phone, and we'll check it out. This case for me is, I remember when I was 19, and I've always been heavy, like, moving in the music industry since I was like 16. I was signed to the first label, my first label, when I was like 16. So, any parties and stuff like that I would go to, I never really went to hotel parties, but hotel parties is something that's very common in Chicago. Stuff like that. People do that all the time. There's always, teens are always throwing a party. So there's always a party somewhere, But I never attended those type of parties. And when I say those type of parties, I'm not saying that she was at a wild, crazy party. I really don't know the nature of it. What I'm saying is that typically when I went out, it was related to music. So it'd be like a concert or I'm working a venue, or something like that, and something having to do with networking. You know what I mean? It was just kind of a different environment. But I think about some of the work that I've done. I've worked in hotels before. I've worked a lot of events, and in a lot of these events, people are drinking and getting wasted, and I could think of three different situations. One that I wasn't involved in, but two that I was, that makes me think of the situation with KENNEKA Jenkins. Well, actually, now that I think about it, there's three that I was involved in, and the one that I wasn't. But the first one would be there's a girl, this Asian girl, this very pretty girl, and I remember seeing her in the party, and she disappeared, and we were making our way up. We go up some floors, and we get off on the wrong floor, on the 14th floor of a skyrise, and there she is laying on the floor. She made her way out of the elevator. One shoe is over here, one shoe is way down the hall, her earrings are on the floor, and there she is face planted on the floor, and her lip is bleeding, and because she looks like she just face planted right there. There's vomit on the floor, and her body is exposed, and she's out, and we're hoping that this girl is alive. Nothing's, and we got her up and got her cleaned up, and got her downstairs and got her to her loved ones that apparently was looking for her. But that's a terrifying thing, man, because it's just like you wonder, like, did something happen to her? And by the grace of God, hopefully nothing happened, and it was just that she was too drunk. That was one girl, and this is the same party. There's another girl falls out in the lobby downstairs, and this girl is with a guy that is a complete ass. These very attractive women, y'all date these guys that are just straight assholes, and he treated her like she was nothing. Like, she passed out. She didn't go and lose consciousness, but she fell down, and she lost her footing. She falls down. He doesn't pick her up. He just complains and shames her for falling. Leaves her laying there on the ground with her body exposed, and she's in such a daze she don't even know what's going on. There's hair all in her mouth, all over her face. You can't see her eyes because she's just so out of it, and her body is exposed. So We tried to get some women involved and tell them, hey, can you pull her dress down and pull her top up so that, you know, and we'll sit her down in this chair over here and we'll get her phone, call her an Uber, and try to get her home or something. Eventually that's what ended up happening. We got her in an Uber. But the guy that was with her, I got him out. I pulled him out of the party. He was done for the night. You know, I sent up, 3 or 4 guys looking for him, and we got him. He was done. And the thing that this asshole left her down there like that and went back upstairs and finished partying. He's upstairs dancing, and he's lucky that I wasn't the one that grabbed him, but he was done for the night. I pulled him out of there, you know. But yeah, that was crazy. You know, I don't care how much money he was paying. He's VIP and this and that. No, you're not going to just leave a woman laying out here like this and go back upstairs and party, dancing with, you know, other women and doing all this shit while your woman is laying down here, you know, dazed and confused, and it's just crazy. But this is how some guys are, and I think about that, and I think about the situation with Miss KENNEKA Jenkins, and it's just like, my God, man, what would have happened to these girls if we didn't catch them? You know, if we wasn't there to help them. And you know what I'm saying? With Miss KENNEKA Jenkins, it's just like, what happened at the party that got them to the point where she wanders off and nobody knows where she is, and you know, what happened? And it's not so hard to, it happens very easily. You know, people can wander off. It happens very easily. But the thing that still makes me question this case is, why did it take so long for the video? And the video just don't seem right. I feel like the video was tampered with, you know. And here we are weeks later, and we're just now releasing photos of, you know, of her in the state that she was in, you know. And I can understand if they're just now releasing it to the public, but did the family wait this long? I do remember seeing videos of the family protesting and asking for copies of the video, you know. So it's just a lot of questions for me, you know what I mean? It's just it just seems like something is not right, you know. It just rubs me the wrong way, you know. I can think of another situation where, you know, I was working in a hotel, and this hotel, they protect their investment by investing in the property. They invest in the hotel, an incredible security system. Whereas if something's going, if they have a lot of activity in the building. Now, I remember specifically, they had an area that was off limits, right? That was under construction, but they installed, and they went through it, took an extra measure and installed extra surveillance equipment in those areas, so that, and the way they had it was like this: if somebody was to stumble into that area somehow, an alarm would go off with their security, and the security would let everybody else know that was working in the hotel that night that we got somebody in the area, in a dangerous area, and it was literally everybody's job to help get that person out of there immediately. You know, you understand what I'm saying? And that's how it was. So it's just like, if you have guests and you have areas of the hotel that is closed off, invest in some money to make sure you know, for client safety, you know, for your customer's safety. Like, that's what I was impressed with this hotel that I was working for. Is basically what we had happen was, we had a married couple, and this was like a cheerleader thing, but the parents were up late, and the parents are out drinking and having a good time or whatever, and mom and dad, you know, they're all flirty and you know, flirting all over each other and flirting and, you know, having a good time as a married couple. Well, somehow they got separated. And mom is going over here in this area. She was making her way to like a stairwell where she probably would have fallen down the stairs. And then dad was the one that was going over into like a restricted area. And it looks like he was looking for the wife, you know. and we was in there. We was able to, you know, get everybody involved with security and the people working the front desk and us as well. Everybody was able to get involved in prevent any emergency or incidents from occurring. Because of the advanced security system that they had and how serious it was. I'm talking about, this place is so tight that even they're watching it. This is why I'm really impressed with this place, because it was like, here's this woman, and it's not that she's going in a restricted area, but she's clearly had too much to drink, and she's making her way towards some stairs, and they recognize she's going to some stairs, and they on the radio, hey, get security and everybody, whoever's over there, and and we was walking close with security to get to this woman. You know what I mean? Now, it was a security team that eventually got to her before anybody else, but it was incredible how tight they was on everything. They knew everything that was going on. And the only explanation that I said, the reason that I feel like this happened to Mrs. KENNEKA Jenkins is it's either foul play or just gross negligence. Gross negligence. There's no way that y'all should have she's calling to ask for her daughter, and hours later you don't know where she is. She's in the streets for hours. Like, that's ridiculous. And somebody, not only do they need to be sued, but somebody needs to do some time for that, because that's absolute. Someone lost their life. That should make it. That hotel should go out of business. This is a person's life. You know what I mean? If it was the president or somebody super rich, I bet you that hotel would be getting ready to go out of business. So this company needs to go out of business. That family needs to own that hotel from that. Like, seriously. I think this is absolutely ridiculous. It's just no excuse for it. But anyway, so that's what it is, right? So we have an update. We're looking for them to release these, I guess, pictures showing that she was, the state that she was in, and all of that. And I don't know how helpful that will be, but it sounds like the attorney is saying that the pictures basically raise more questions. So just stay tuned, and if I'm running into it before some of you guys do, I'll go ahead and post what I have, and we'll go from there, man. Hopefully, we can get closer to justice for KENNEKA, because this was just completely avoidable, and that, I think that's the thing that irks me the most, is it was avoidable. Like, how long was she wandering in them halls, man? Like, this, oh man. Anyway, so all right, so we'll be looking forward. Look for the pictures, and I guess we go from there. Hopefully, the attorneys have everything they need to really come to the accurate resolve with this case. And you got to be careful, man. Y'all got to be careful. I mean, ladies, I've seen it 100 times. I've worked events. I used to do event management for quite some time, and I just recently was working events. So it's like, and I've seen it. One situation I was going to tell you about that I wasn't immediately involved in was a situation with my daughter's mother. She's leaving a club or something, and she's trying to get in her car, and luckily she approached her car from the rear of the car, because there was a woman laying down right behind her car in the street, intoxicated, and her body's exposed, her body's out, and she's laying there, and She said it didn't look like she was like raped or anything like that, but my God, ladies, like, you gotta be careful, man. You have to be careful. I mean, I've seen it too many times, and I've seen it far too many times, where a woman has had too much to drink and she's not with the right friends, and the friends are not paying attention, and nobody's sober, and this woman ends up somewhere, and somebody tries to take advantage of her. It happens, and you just don't want that to be you. And, I'm wondering, when I think about this case with Miss KENNEKA Jenkins, I feel like, there's a lot of conspiracy theories out there, people talking about the organ harvesting and stuff like that. I feel like if there's a crime involved with this, I think this is more of a crime of opportunity. I think here's this beautiful black girl, she's inebriated, I'm gonna take advantage of the situation. And that's kind of what I think. If there is a crime involved, this is the thing that I'm kind of leaning towards. You know what I mean? Of course, the attorneys would have more information that could probably, possibly change my mind about that, perception of what happened. But with the information that I have available to me, I think it would be something more along the lines of that versus like an organ harvesting thing. You know what I mean? I can think of situations where I can say that people seem like they were targeted for this whole thing. There was a case in Vegas, I think it was, where a guy was a model, and he was supposed to leave town or something. I may have a video of it, and I could post that, but that's a different video. And we're not going to get into